It's good to be back in Wisconsin. Good to be back in the Midwest.
Former President Barack Obama in Milwaukee yesterday with a tall task, energizing Democratic voters, specifically Milwaukee's critical black vote. Politico this past week writing, quote, if black turnout were to fall this year, it would seriously complicate, if not eviscerate, Democrats' path to victory in hotly contested gubernatorial and Senate races across the country, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Eve Hall is the president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League. She joins us now. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I want to hop right in. We just heard about the importance of the critical black vote in hotly contested races all across the country, including here in Wisconsin. Let's talk about what you're seeing right now in terms of voter turnout in some of the city's black wards.
So we are very active, Jared, through our Reclaim Your Vote national effort through the National Urban League, and it's taking place here as well. And so what we've been doing is really collaborating with other community organizations, really pushing the vote. So helping to educate individuals on who the candidates are. We've been doing some phone canvassing. We've had some forums in the community. Again, just looking at different ways that we are energizing the black community to understand that their vote still matters and that they need to be looking at, or we need to be looking at, what are the issues that are most important and identify those individuals who align with the things that we need to have done in our communities.
And we'll talk about both parties here. I want to start with Democrats and what they're doing. Democrats have their work pretty cut out for them. President Biden not that popular among Wisconsin voters here in Wisconsin. And polling kind of indicates that there's a lag in non-white voters compared to 2018. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that there's a lot of just frustration with what is occurring in our cities. We look at the issues of safety. We're now looking at the issues around just affordable housing, health issues, education. I think because people have been frustrated, they've been looking for things to happen more quickly. And while I believe that there have been some progress made, there is just so much, in my opinion, spillover from what happened with COVID-19 that has impacted families, and, changes just are not always being made quick enough.
And so how do you turn that frustration into motivation to get out to the polls?
Well, once again, we are galvanizing our community through our collaborative efforts. In fact, we will be having strolls to the polls, which is a combination of all the sororities and fraternities and civic organizations, where we'll be marching downtown to just, again, highlight the importance of early voting and voting, period.
And looking on the other side of this, Republicans have really been making inroads, or trying to really, make inroads in historically Democratic neighborhoods across Milwaukee. And do you think that that's having an impact on, again, energizing people to get out to the polls? And why do you think that is?
So I think it's also giving people another perspective to look at, which is very important. I think all of us have to look at both parties, look at what is being offered, what is being promised, but the end game has to be accountability. Whoever is elected, that is the real test. Once people get into office, are they accountable? But I do believe that with the Republicans doing more outreach, that's also having an impact on even our black voters in terms of just, if nothing else, just thinking about what are some of the other options.
How critical is the black vote in Wisconsin when you just look at the margins of how races in the past have been really down to the wire in some cases?
Absolutely. So I was just reading about our numbers. There are 250,000 votes between Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, black votes. So if we think about the margins, which have been everywhere from 20 to 30,000 votes in these recent races, that again signals how important the black vote can be in making the difference in who wins and who loses.
Dr. Eve Hall, the president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next, going prime time.